Okay, this Dragon Lady here, and you are?
I'm Julia.
Julia, and what did you play tonight?
I call it the An Attempt Was Made deck.
An attempt was made. Okay, let's give her. Let's see what you got.
Okay, so first, I'm gonna admit I'm a huge Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal fan, so you're gonna see a lot.
Okie doke.
We're gonna start with Gagaga Magician. And I have a few Gagagas in here. I pair them with Gagaga Head, Gagaga Clerk, and a second Gagaga Clerk because a lot of them can be paired like with each other to hopefully, with better cards or the right cards, hopefully get out some Xyz monsters, specifically in this case usually the rank 4 ones, which is what I usually have a lot of. Next we're going to go with the Go 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 Aristura and Dexia, and I have 3 of those, and mostly it's just so I can have something down in defense position that I can trust might not get blown away when it's laid down, so I can wait till my next turn to lay down another level 4 so I can do a rank 4 Xyz summon. I mostly rely on these ones for the high defense, which is something you'll see a lot of here because most of the strategy I play is just lay something down, face down, hope it doesn't get blown away before my next rank 4 level 4 comes out. Beg it doesn't die. Next we have Divine Dragon Apocryph, and this one, I have a lot of dragon monsters in here, so it's nice to be able to like discard a card, add a dragon from the graveyard, rinse and repeat because I have 2 of these things, so
Hey,
it's
you're talking to the Dragon Lady. I knows it.
Oh yeah, dragons are the best. I think it was Yu-Gi-Oh! That started my obsession with dragons. Of course, we have more Stream Dragon Ruler Droplets and Reactin Dragon Ruler Pebbles, and these ones, once again, are there because of the higher defense, and it's, if I can keep them there for 1 turn, the next turn I can always get out another level 4 monster. We have Mirage Dragon, Radius the Half Moon Dragon, and Heliosphere Dragon, and the reason I have these is because that's the ones that Misael played in Zexal. And once again, most of this deck comes from when I was playing back in 2014, very casually. So a lot of these are there just because I recognize them, they're pretty, and somehow they work.
Sometimes that's all that matters.
That's fair. Next we have Axe Dragonoot, and he's another one that I have not entirely for defense, but I do have him because it's nice to get him out, let him attack, and then he switches to defense so I can do whatever with him on the next turn. I have Genesis Dragon, which is pretty good because that one, it allows me, when it's sent to the graveyard, it sends back to the deck all the dragons that were in the graveyard, so all of the strategies that I have with my various dragons, then it means that I can bring them back and use them again. I do have just a few random level 4 monsters, Blue Mountain Butter Spy, Fencing Fire Ferret, and Heraldic Beast Burner's Falcon. They're just mostly for the level 4. I do have Light Ray Daedalus and Light Ray Grepher, and because a handful of my monsters are light monsters, then I'm relying on the fact that when they're sent to the graveyard, either because they were used as Xyz material or because they just died, then I'll be able to special summon Light Ray Daedalus with them. As for Light Ray Grepher, it's really good to have warrior monsters so I can pull out special summon something like the Butter Spy one. I do have Photon Crusher and Photon Cerberus, and these ones are mostly because, once again, I like Zexal, I like Kaito. There we go. Then, getting into the spell cards, we have 2 Black Pendants, which are pretty good because it gives 500 attack, but also if it's destroyed, then it takes away 500 life points from the opponent, so that one is a fairly good fail-safe, like just buff up your monster a bit. Usually I pair that one with one of various Utopias. I do have Fissure, and I do have Mystical Space Typhoon, Lightning Vortex. These ones are basically like, hey, is there something that I can't really deal with? Time to get rid of that stuff. Then we have Rank Up Magic Barion's Force, and that's to use with my Utopias. And then we have things like Synchro Boost, another booster one. A traffic control, so if they have a lot of monsters, then they can't actually attack me, because it's nice to be able to have that time to set up to see if I can do an Xyz summon. Then Banner of Courage to give 200 attack points during the battle phase, which is always very welcome. Then I have Intrigue Shield, which can keep my monsters around for a little longer, allow me to do with them whatever I want to do with them. Nitwit Outwit, and Nordic Relic Leviathan, and Sakuretsu Armor. A lot of these ones are ones that I put in here like as a failsafe, like this is something I can rely on if I don't know what else to do. An attempt was made. We have Magic Jammer, because a lot of times where I'm just getting back into Yu-Gi-Oh!, a lot of the newer spell cards, they're things that I haven't really figured out how to counteract yet, so if I can just get rid of it, then that's great. Call of the Haunted to bring back a monster, which is nice, especially if I get out one of my Xyz monsters and then it's destroyed. I want to be able to bring it back and yet not have to use my extra monster space for it. And then of course there's Trap Hole, kind of as a failsafe to prevent someone hopefully from summoning something that could get rid of my monsters before I could set up for an Xyz summon. And speaking of Xyz summons, we're into the extra deck now, and we have this terribly, terribly damaged Utopia, this half-okay Utopia. We have Utopia Ray, and we have Utopia Ray Victory. And I'm gonna be honest, I almost never use Utopia Ray because it requires for its effect for you to be at 1,000 or less life points, so it's most often that I just go with the regular number 39 Utopia, love its negating effect, or Utopia Ray Victory, and I love adding attack boosting cards to that one just to give it a little bit of a power up. Next I have Gagaga Cowboy, which I actually usually summon in defense position, because you can just remove one Xyz material and you just deal 800 life points damage. So if your opponent has something that, for example, like, I can't attack this, I can't use card effects on it, but I can still get rid of some of their life points. I do have, like, some rank 4s.
Okay.
And that's just because I have a lot of level 4 monsters, and if I can pull out one powerful monster at least, I'd be happy with that. There are a couple more of them here. The numbers cards I actually haven't gotten a chance to use a lot of yet. And then, of course, the last ones would be Leviathan Dragon, and then Rebarian Shark. And I actually don't think right now what I'm working with really has the proper way to set these ones up. I don't really think I could get out like the 2 level 3 monsters, because I think I only have like 1 level 3 monster in here now, but I'm working on it. I'm searching to see if I can get some more of the Gagaga monsters. I'm trying to build more of a deck focused around, I guess, like what Yuma Tsukumo was playing. And I'm not really like competitive per se into it, but it's nice to just have a little deck like this that I can mess around with and have fun, and even if it may not be very competitively viable, then it creates some great experiences and I wouldn't trade it for the world.
And that's all that matters. It's all about playing the game.
Absolutely.
Not the fame.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, subscribe and be sure to click on the bell for notifications. You can also check me out on Facebook. The link is in the description below. Happy dueling!